So what are the three stages of enlightenment? So number one, what even is enlightenment? Enlightenment is when you can unravel your bubble of individuality and realize that you are no different than the universal life that has brought you forward. So the life that's in me, the life that's in you, the life that's in a tree is no different. The only difference is the little karmic bubble that surrounds it and holds it in place. But undoing that bubble, dissolving it altogether, is enlightenment. So as you can see behind me, I have 3, 2, 1, because it really is about working yourself, back into your heart, back into your core, to realize who and what you truly are beyond this body, this mind, and these emotions. That's enlightenment. So what does that look like? What are the 3 steps that you can take to make that happen for yourself? Because it is a human right. It is not just for some people in the Himalayas. It's not just for some monks. It's for every human being. And so this is how you can start applying these steps to your own life to make that journey for yourself. So number 1 is realizing that I don't know. Realizing that I don't know what I really want in life. I don't know what will really make me happy. And I think many of us get to a point in life where we realize, just through using our intellect, that a big house, a beautiful partner, a nice car, a lot of money will not make us happy. When we don't have those things, we think, yes, they'll make us happy. And yes, they'll make life easier, more comfortable. Of course they will. But happiness, but joyousness, with absolute fulfillment in life is something beyond that. It's something deeper than the physical things we see and that we chase all our life. Because we can spend our entire life chasing those things, but then when we're on our deathbed, we can't chase them anymore. We realize that they disappear along with this body. So what is there really underneath all of that, underneath that current? So having that realization that the house, the car, the partner, the money, the fame, the accolades, everything, realizing that these things won't bring you happiness. These things can add to your life. They're like add-ons, but they're not the underlying current that keeps it all together. It's not the depth of life. The depth of life is in here, and that's the whole process of going back into it. So how can we get into that depth? So first of all, realizing that these things that I've been chasing are not going to give me long-lasting happiness. They're not going to give me deep fulfillment. And so step number 3 is I don't know. I don't know if these things are really going to make me fulfilled in the long run. And then number 2 is recognizing the true nature of life. So recognizing that this body, these words, phone that you're holding, everything that you see, everything that you're sensing through your 5 senses is movement. It's reverberation. It's vibration. Everything is. And science can back me up on that, I'm pretty sure. But everything we know of physical life is just movement. So, understanding that, we can understand that life just comes up and returns back down to this universal common ground, this universal stillness. That's where we can connect on. And so understanding that life is just reverberation moving out, but what is it that's underneath that vibration? What is it that's making up all these things that we're chasing? That's making up the physicality that we're so attached to emotionally? Because that's all it is. When we're out here, we're attached to everything emotionally because we think it means something. But then we realize, we step into step number 3 and we realize, hold on, that's actually not the pinnacle. These things won't make me happy. These things are just images that I'm chasing, like literally. They're just images of vibration that I'm chasing. But what is there beyond that? What is there that's deeper than that? What is there that transcends death? So then you go to step number 2 and you start to realize, everything is just vibration. Everything is just moving out and going back. Moving out and going back. These bodies have moved out from the earth. They'll go back. The house and everything physical is just vibration. But eventually it'll break down and go back. Back to what though? And that's the whole point of this. But realizing that all this stuff is temporary. And I think that's the number 1 thing to underline. All of this is temporary. And so step number 2 is recognizing that it's only here for a moment. But as soon as you lose this body, all of that loses its appeal. So clearly, there's something more to search for. And that's where we step into step number 1. Practice silence. So practice just being still. And I would suggest closing your eyes, focusing your eyes between your eyebrows and breathing in and out through your nose only. Dropping your awareness into your heart and just resting there for 15 minutes every morning. If you find it difficult to step into meditation, something you can do is you can take a deep breath out through your nose and just hold it for as long as you can until you feel that you can't anymore. Then breathe back in and try it again. And you might begin to notice that your entire body relaxes. Give that a try. But why practice? Because it's all well and good to have the intellectual understanding that none of this means anything. It's all vibration. But if we don't put that into practice by actually searching or putting our attention back on its source, then we'll never actually know who and what we truly are. We'll just have a bunch of ideas about it. And so if you truly wish to attain enlightenment in this lifetime, if you truly wish to go beyond your physical boundaries, your individual boundaries, if you are a drop who wants to know yourself as the ocean, consider practicing every single day by sitting in silence. Because what sitting in silence does is it gives you the opportunity to sit here, to sit at this baseline where everything is coming in, coming out of, and going back into. All the reverberations going out and coming back into. This baseline, by sitting in stillness, you allow yourself to sit there, which means that when an emotion arises, when a thought arises, when someone comes to you, when you feel urged to act, you can step and observe it. You don't have to move forward into it. And that gives you so much more skill in life. Like really, just consider that. How many times someone you know can just say something and drag you out of your ease, drag you out of your happiness, and drag you from this emotion to that emotion. But imagine being like an anchor, just at ease. And you can just observe life and then you act how you wish to act. So stillness gives you that ability. On top of that, what I've found is that stillness is like a doorway to the ultimate. Stillness is a doorway beyond your five senses, beyond your body. It isn't the ultimate itself, but it's a doorway to it. I wrote a book called Common Ground, link below, and in that book I emphasize how important stillness is. And I haven't reread it in a long time, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned that stillness is the ultimate. Stillness is it, but it isn't it, what I've realized. Stillness is the doorway. But if you can begin to practice every single day by sitting in stillness or silence, then you're slowly creaking the door open to the divine. And there'll be no difference between you and the air you breathe, you and your friend, you and a tree, you and the water that flows. There'll be no boundaries between you and yourself. But that's what enlightenment is about. That's what self-realization is about. That's why this channel is called Realize Ones. Because you're realizing your true nature, you're realizing your oneness, and then your noneness. That's for a different video. So anyways, just to recap here, 3 steps to enlightenment is realizing, number 1, that I don't know what I'm doing out here. These things will not bring me happiness. These things will not take me into heavenly realms. These things will not transcend my death. So, what are these things? Step number 2, realizing that all these things are just reverberation. Physical life is just movement, sound, reverberation. But sitting in stillness allows you to transcend it altogether. And that's where step number 1 comes in. Practice, practice, practice. Every day for 15 minutes, close your eyes, focus your eyes between your eyebrows, breathe in and out through your nose only. Drop your awareness into your heart and rest for 15 minutes a day. And I can guarantee you that if you keep that up for even a year or a month, you will notice a difference in the way you handle life. You will notice a difference in the way that you perceive life and other people's emotions and your own emotions and just the way you operate in this world. You will notice a difference, I can guarantee it. It'll be so subtle, but you'll notice it. Instead of searching out here for fulfillment or enlightenment or joy or happiness or anything, turn that attention all the way back in here, into your heart, into stillness, and watch what happens.